Good evening to everyone for the last session here at Samvad on day 2 of Z Jaipur Literature Festival. We now have the poetry hour Kavita Nirantar presented by British Council. Our speakers for today are K. Miller, Luke Kennard, Mark Waldron, Melissa Lee-Houghton, Ramswaroop Kisan, Yoko Tawada and K. Satchidanandan. I would like to invite Chris Holyfield, Director of Poetry Book Society, to say a few words.
Good evening. Welcome to this British Council event organised with the Jaipur Literature Festival. I'm Chris Holyfield. I'm the director of the Poetry Book Society, which was founded by T.S. Eliot and Friends in 1953. You can't hear me. I don't think this is on. Sorry. Can you put the microphone on, please? Can you put the microphone on, please? Hello? Right, it's on now. It wasn't on just then. Okay, I'm going to start again so you can hear me this time. Welcome to this British Council event organised with the Jaipur Literature Festival. I'm Chris Holyfield, the director of the Poetry Book Society in London. The Poetry Book Society was founded by T.S. Eliot and Friends in 1953, and it's the only poetry book club in the world. Our poet selectors choose the best new collections of the quarter, and their choices go in the bulletin, which is sent to all members of the PBS. We also run the T.S. Eliot Prize, which 10 days ago in London, we had the readings in the Royal Festival Hall with an audience of 2,000. And it's the biggest poetry event of the year in the UK. We were delighted that Sarah Howe won this year with her collection Loop of Jade. It's the very first time in 23 years of the prize that her first collection has won. So it was very exciting. She's a brilliant young poet. I'm here to talk about the Next Generation Poets 2014, and you're going to hear 4 of them in a few minutes. This is a once-in-a-decade promotion. The judging panel had to choose the 20 best collections from poets who published their first collection in the last 10 years. And we had 250 submissions, so it was quite a hard task for them. In the UK, we did a tour of 23 venues involving 56 poets, including some from New Generation, which was in 1994, and involved poets like Carol Ann Duffy and Simon Armitage. Next Generation, 2004, had poets like Alice Oswald and Owen Shears. They were both brilliant lists, and this third one is just the same. We have a special website for Next Generation Poets, which has readings, poems, interviews and blogs from the poets, as well as notes for reading groups. You can find it at www.nextgenerationpoets.com. The poets are now touring internationally as part of a partnership between the Poetry Book Society and the British Council. So I'm just going to briefly introduce these 4 poets. Luke Kennard is a poet and fiction writer. With his second collection, The Harbour Beyond the Movie, he became the youngest poet ever to be nominated for the Forward Prize. K. Miller, who is from Jamaica, actually won the Forward Prize in 2014 with The Cartographer Maps A Way to Zion. Poet and fiction writer Melissa Lee-Houghton's second collection, Beautiful Girls, was a Poetry Book Society recommendation. Mark Waldron works in advertising and was chosen for Next Generation Poets 2014 for The Brand New Dark. As you'll discover, they all have wonderful individual voices, and that's what the Poetry Book Society is good at, identifying superb new poetic voices. So I'd like to just conclude by saying that it's great for the UK Next Generation Poets International Showcase to bring the poets here to read as part of this fantastic international event at the fabulous Jaipur Festival.
Hi. Hello. Is that still working? Oops. God. Yeah, there's much better, yeah. The Tragedies of Being Tall. I'll just read 4 poems. And I'll read from this collection called A Light Song of Light. And in this collection, there's a man that keeps on featuring. He's called the Singer Man. In Jamaica, years ago, when they used to build roads, the government would hire someone to sing songs while they built these roads, and this man was called the Singer Man. So he features in a couple of the poems. A short biography of the Singer Man. The Singer Man, born in 1903, has lived in Spalding, in Lime Tree Grove, in a village called Rim. Wherever there were no roads, wherever the hills rose up like a flock of green parrots, you would find him, Singer Man. Paid ½ a week, dug trenches, filled the pits with mortar and bits of broken stone. But Singer Man's most crucial job was to lift up mentors, to time chichibodo to the swing of a workman's hammer. And no one knew if it was the hammer or if it was the song, but there was no rock so strong to resist the 4th accented beat, that huh, in the Singer Man's song. Brochure. You have to imagine that you're visiting Jamaica and you're reading a brochure. Brochure. Avoid the 3-lane highways. Drive on the Singer Man's roads. Your journey, even when bumpy, will be sweet. The ascents lifting you as in a chorus, the sharp corners turning you like a force of melody. There's a back road that sings its offbeat way up Stony Hill, built, of course, by the Singer Man. And the slim road to Mount Pleasant, also built by the Singer Man. And yes, it was the Singer Man who orchestrated the long road to Portland, made it full of waterfalls, so that a man and his mule traversing its miles could forget for a while the solemnity of their loads. Please, when you visit Jamaica, drive on the Singer Man's roads. And oh, thank you, that's very kind. The color of the Singer Man's songs. I was thinking that, you know, if you're a kind of black American artist, you might sing the blues. So what color would the Singer Man's songs be? Which is a really strange question to have, but I'm a poet, so. The color of the Singer Man's songs. If the Singer Man had gone to America, he would have sung the blues. He would have sung the blues with a voice like John the Baptist, with a tongue covered in sand. And his blues would have been that kind of blues that is fed on locust and honey. Blues like a cry that cometh from the wilderness. Blues like the sound of warthogs alarmed at the sky. And the Singer Man would have sung it straight from his field in Arkansas to Harold Arlen's living room, where Arlen would have gone to his keys and composed a song more sad than Blues in the Night. But the Singer Man did not go to America. He stayed right here, so bless up to him and his song and all music that is sad in its own color. Bless up to every song that bless up to the notes that fall like flakes of rust. Bless up to every song that makes its own way out of Dungle, a path straight through ghettos. Bless up to the mento, which becomes ska, which becomes rubber-dub, which becomes legend. Bless up all the red gold songs, all the weary evening time songs, songs given to us by the Singer Man. And I will end with a poem that I can't read because it's not in any book, but it's a poem that Chris commissioned me to write last year. And basically, the Queen, she took out all her gold. Well, not all of it, but took out a lot of the gold and put it on display. And so Chris, the Poetry Society, asked me to write a poem responding to this exhibition on gold. There's another one, but I focus on the gold. I didn't think the poem was very political at the time until the next morning everyone was tweeting they couldn't believe Kai Miller read that at Buckingham Palace. And so now I realize the poem might be. But this is my response to gold. There's a series of poems in this collection, The Cartographer Tries to Map a Way to Zion, about place names in Jamaica. And so this is just continuing that series about place names. And now I have to remember it by heart. Place name. Arocabessa. Origins disputed, but most likely leave over from the Spanish ora cabeza, golden head. Though what gold was here other than light glinting off the bay, other than bananas bursting out from red flowers, though this too is disputed, not the flowers, but the origin of bananas. They may have come here with Columbus on a ship which in 1502 slipped into Arocabessa the way grief sometimes slips into a room. In those days, the sailor tried to name the island Santa Maria, as if not knowing we already had a name in another language, a language whose speakers would soon all die, though this too is disputed, not the deaths, but the completeness of genocide. For consider, if you will, such leave-over words as hurricane, consider barbecue, consider Jamaica, land of wood and water, but not of gold. Could someone please go back in time and tell Columbus in Taino there is no word for gold? Christopher Columbus, in Italiano, Cristoforo Colombo, in Espanol, Cristobal Colon. A teacher once told me colon is root word for colonist, and though I know that was false etymology, there is some truth to it. Arocabessa, at which place you might find such tranquil villas as Golden Ridge, Golden Cloud, Golden Eye, longtime home of Ian Fleming, who sat there on cliff's edge, the morning's breakfast brought to him by a woman named Doris, the scent of ackee and crisp fried breadfruit wafting up to his nostrils, while between his teeth he bit a number 2 pencil, all the time looking out to sea as if fishing for a story. Maybe a man, an incredible man. Let's call him Bond, James Bond. Who knew 007 wasn't actually Scottish, but a barefoot boy from St. Mary, Jamaica? Like so many others, he too migrated, the brutish winter cooling his complexion down to white. Such stories, Goldfinger, Golden Eye, the man with the golden gun. Have you never stopped to ask, where does all this gold come from? Have you never wondered what was found in El Dorado? Well, let me tell you, not a nugget, not an ounce of ore, but light, gilding the bay, and perhaps bananas, and perhaps ackee, and such language as could summon wind to capsize Columbus's ships. And if that's not gold, then what is?
Hi, I'm Luke Kennard. It's really wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm going to start with a poem about clinical depression, and it's called Chorus. The choir hadn't left him alone since the first day of summer. He awoke to find them stationed round his bed. One day the choir arrived without warning or explanation, sang the choir in plain song, handing him toast. On his first day back at work, the choir stood at his desk singing, "The choir are making his professional life impossible." 2 weeks later, his partner left him for an osteopath. "Hannah cannot stand the choir any longer," they sang. That night he pummeled the choristers with his fists. He beats the choir in frustration, but though they are bruised and bleeding at the lip, they sing with redoubled vigor, sang the choir. And then they sang, "He cannot get to sleep, he cannot get to sleep, he cannot get to sleep," in perfect fifths, until he fell asleep. "In time you may even grow fond of us," they sang quietly. This is called My Friend, and like most of my poems, it's about not being a very good person. My friend, your irresponsibility and your unhappiness delight me. Your financial problems and your expanding waistline are a constant source of relief. I am so happy you drink more than I do and that you don't seem to enjoy it as much. When I hear you being arrogant and argumentative, my heart leaps. Your nihilism is fast becoming the richest source of meaning in my life, and it is my pleasure to watch you speaking harshly to others. When you gossip about our mutual acquaintances, I sigh with satisfaction. Your childish impatience delights me. The day you threw a tantrum in the middle of the supermarket was the happiest day of my life. Sometimes you say something which reveals you to be rather stupid, and I love you then, but not as much as I love you as when you are callously manipulative. Your promiscuity is like a faithful dog at my side. When you talk about your petty affairs, you try to make them sound grand and important. I cherish your gaucheness and your flippancy. At times it seems you are actually without a sense of humour, and I bless the day I met you. You bully people younger and weaker than you, and when others tell me about this, I am pleased. Sometimes I think you're incapable of love, and I am filled with the contentment of waking on a Saturday morning to realise I don't have to go to work. I often suspect that you do not even like me, really, and my laughter overflows like water from a blocked cistern. Thank you. So I wrote that poem before my two sons were born, so now the line about having a tantrum in the supermarket is sort of tinged with horror for me, which it wasn't when I wrote it. I'll do this little formal poem, which is called Men Made of Words. Men made of words live in migraine hotels and talk not of music but speaker cables. They stay up to drink whiskey with red lemonade, point out the mistakes one another has made of pronunciation, directions and sales. Some compare charts before prints of Kandinsky. Some pick on the barmaid, Nebraskan and pretty. Their guiding philosophy never needs telling. The fauvists, so colourful. What is it they're selling? Art never hurts for the men made of words. And if you, like I, often let down your guard when you're drunk in the hush of a theatre courtyard, or forced to find work beneath travestied arches, you find yourself under the weight of their glances. Make your excuse while the handshakes are hard, and run for your life from the men made of words. Thank you. Bless you. You needn't clap after a poem, but thank you for doing that. It's very encouraging. Okay, I'm going to finally read this little poem, which is a love poem, and it's a poem about coincidence. It's a poem about how where you end up in your life and what you end up doing and with whom. You have so little control over that, and we used to sort of have words like fate, and we used to think of it maybe in spiritual terms, and many of us perhaps still do. And this is a way of trying to deal with this sort of terrifying coincidence, as bad as a sort of terrible Victorian novel. Was my feeling that there's more coincidence in life than in a bad novel. And partly it's inspired by meeting my wife, and the only reason that I met her was because she got a C in her biology A-level, which meant that we went to the same university. So if she got 3 A's, she'd have gone to Cambridge and married some other asshole. So I'm grateful that she had a bad day on the day of her A-level biology exam. Anyway, yeah, cheers for that. Anyway, so I'll finish on this. Thank you so much for listening. Bless you. It's called Leatherbound Road. Should anybody ask me how we met, I'll read them Ansel Adams on photography. I'll say it's in the way the artist brings out of the landscape what the frame brings out of the painting, which is to say you bring out the best in me, but not the way the Maillard reaction brings out the best in food, through the combination of amino acids, reducing sugars, and heat. No, it's more the way the right light brings out the right wine, and the scene reflected in your eye places me front and center, looking in, trying to describe the color. It's what the singer does between the words that makes the words, and not just words. The crows that current stud the risen green don't startle as I cycle through and crunch the gears. The Canada goose that turns its neck 180 to rifle through its feathers Rolodex. Distracted weavers weave their hair into the tapestry, a chess move made 6 hours ago that only makes sense now. The way the symphony opens up only when you know what's coming next, your place in it and why or not. The way the past's not even past, and looking back, I overlook the beauty of the worst of it. The exam flunked, the filed, the blown bulb and the curtain drawn which gave the bar its votive glow. The way that led with more coincidence and happenstance than a minor Victorian novel, and yet with the absolute conviction of its binding and with gratitude to you. Thanks.
Hi. I'd rather use just this if I can. Yep. Okay. Can you hear me okay just with this mic? Yeah? The shoes of a clown. Oh, how I'd love to own a pair of those long-toed clown shoes. I think I'd find myself so engaging in them. I'd put them on, sit down upon a chair, reach out my legs and happily behold my oddly shod feet. I'd stand and slap their long lengths on the ground to generate a flapping sound, a flapping sound like a crack, crack. And then I'd hurry backwards up the stair. I'd hurry up to see you, to show you my two new shoes. And you'd turn around and apprehend myself emerging up from them, a genie drifting from its polished lamp, a plant sucking at its just watered ground. So I'm going to do a few poems, yeah, it's fantastic to be here. I was thinking this morning that I was a little bit worried that because I write my poems in England and it's kind of cold and they have that kind of feeling of slightly cold feeling about them, I think. I was worried that if I brought them here, what was going to happen to them? Might they kind of melt in a kind of hotter environment? But so far, they're okay, I think. So, this is called the chocolate car. The little chocolate car has no wheels or windows and a body shell that's a sweet wrapper. Everything inside the car is made of chocolate. The engine, the battery, all the little pipes and cables, the petrol, the oil, the water, the steering wheel and handbrake, the carpeting and dashboard, the seats and seat belts, the sweet wrappers in the door compartments, the driver and passengers, their flesh and their blood and their bones, their skin and their hair, the brains in their heads, the food in their stomachs, the feces in their bowels, the urine in their bladders, their clothes, the money in their pockets, the dirt on their shoes, as well as absolutely all of the empty spaces in the car are made entirely out of chocolate. The chocolatey smell that escapes from the car's body shell is the perfume worn by the chocolate woman who sits completely engulfed in chocolate in the chocolate passenger seat. She smiles to herself with chocolate lips over chocolate teeth in a chocolate mouth that's crammed full of chocolate. She smiles because she can sense that she's pregnant with an embryo that's a minuscule, errant, miraculous bubble of air. I wrote this as a commission to do a poem for a book of magic spell poems. To change one dog to one cat, you perhaps ought to go to the park at a convenient time of your particular choosing. You should find there what may be a dog, knowing it by its humor. Take it home, then fast on the ready table, siphon its yap. You can do this. Then on the wash table, stick it with a shameful enslavement to mice. On cushions in the drawing room, make it to fathom slowly and then quick that it is not itself. Disconnect with a straightforward yank, its crush on booze. There's the microphone gone. Hello? Oh, that's okay. Disconnect with a straightforward yank its crush on booze and the chew of the meaty cigarettes and the grunt of the trundling ground. So, first ordain it a fish, cat being fish, dog being fished, and make sure to bend it as well to a pale dusty blue before you plead it, and if needs be, require it to black. And to show what you've done, make it to whistle itself, once if you like. Okay, one more poem and then a very short one. This one's called All My Poems Are Advertisements for Me. When I was young, there was nothing exactly stupid about the world. In fact, in the good old days, there was the thump and the tug of it, the way it heaved itself like a stone yanked, so to speak, in glory. The way it fell up, and then crushed up again, getting newer and newer, louder and sweeter. The way it watched its own face fall between its fingers as though its face were a handful of gold coins. I think I might have known the whole drag of everything going upwards, a tide that pulled me with it. Actually, I know I did. You were part of all this, by the way. And the sky, wow, where to begin? The sky was so adult, not imbecilic or thin or so-so or girlish. Did I outgrow it? Did I drink it, shoot it, find a way round it? Did I get inside it and drive off in it? Forgive me, but on my way to work this morning, even though the sun was on fire and the trees were up, I was in the apocalypse. Death is not what you think it is. It's actually what I think it is. And one last short poem. It's called The Fire Hose. If I was, I don't know, walking down, say, a street, and I happened to come across a group of, I don't know, firemen, and they were fighting, say, a fire, then I might imagine, might I not, their fire hose to be a long and beige salami. And then I might imagine, might I not, that I could take a slice of that salami, that I could peel it of its ring of canvas skin, and then I'd have a lens, the freshest monocle, through which, if I held it to my open eye, I'd probably see a group of firemen with a cut hose, shouting angrily. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Melissa. Do you want to go out this way?
Hello, everyone. It's absolutely wonderful to be here and to see such a lovely big audience. So thanks very much for having me. I'm going to read some poems that are in my new collection that comes out in September. And the first poem I wrote after a friend of mine died in 2014. And he was a really wonderful man, and I really adored him and looked up to him. And I found the grief just very inexpressible. So this was the only thing I really managed to write about that, and it's the shortest thing I've ever written. Wish list. There's a ruptured vein in the arc of my heart, a sonic rush in the steady of my being, a wake-up call in the doubt-frozen morning, and you with your head down. There's a promise thrown into the seam of my brain, a room filled with skulls and carvings and seances, a thrill struck wide by the cleft in your name, and you with your head down. Thank you. The book that I've written sort of describes the very complex relationship we all engage in at some point in our lives between like love and harm, and how the two things can sort of coalesce. The Ballad of Sexual Dependency. The pain isn't real. You can shine a torchlight on the wound. It's healed in a matter of days, but the scar itches at night and I claw chunks out of it. Don't tell me love hurts. It doesn't. It arrives and it leaves clean like death and birth. And when it's gone, it leaves nothing to mourn unless you can mourn happiness. This prologue is, of course, meaningless. My hair is dripping wet on my t-shirt. I've been in pain for 4 months, persistently. My husband emailed the morning I was gone. The subject field read, "The Ballad of Sexual Dependency." He knew I would come home. Regret is a cowardly response to doing something you absolutely meant. Now I know I'm not brave. I can't face the world alone. I slept in the loft and cried intermittently. It's okay though. I severed the limb cleanly and cried out for less than a minute. And when it was done, I remembered everything and learned to bite my tongue. I'm in bed applying for free school meals. We have nothing. I have the melody but no song. I'm not going to be anyone's miserablest. I'm both the torturer and the tortured. I will put some effort into retracing the heartline with the emotional precision of a scalpel. What doesn't cut me makes me real. Emptiness has a place in my life, as does loss, which fraternizes with my self-abasement, and in winter I look hot in summer dresses, and no one trembles when they hold me close enough to despise me. I am all alone in this life. Even my dreams do their best to let me down. Come February, I'll be anew. My husband said I wouldn't survive the year, but surviving thus far, I look around and the body count is not severe. This is the last one. It's a bit longer. It's not quite as depressing, probably. This ache cannot be pacified by pain alone. Sometimes I have nothing but my lavishly delusional dreams. I wake in hotel rooms drenched in sweat, cuddling the pillow. Loneliness can't grow up in this infantile age of instant gratification and sweetness. I lick up the lollipop love. You're so saccharine to my wounds. I keep pouring on the salt and rubbing it in to even it out, but I love the sting too much. I suck in the air through my teeth and want the unambiguous hit. I crave intimacy until it fills me, my drug of choice, human connection. I walk from one disaster to the next, calmly scoring scars and sores, registering my interest in your omnivorous excitement. The sad city jerks spoke of the cost of living, wages, keeping your head down, shadows tripped along in the dark, and I said, we all have a place in this world. It's just that some of us are falling off its edges. When I'm drunk, I just become more acutely self-aware. I fall over inside myself until the numbness grants me sojourn. I just want to choose between one high and the next. Why do I remember painful events with wistfulness and nostalgia? I want the sweet sting. I want. Don't change. And don't invite me when my veins are flooded. Give me language if you can't give me peace. There is just too much of me everywhere and in your eyes and chest, where I know I'm wanted and not wanted, where I hide my fantasies for safekeeping. I don't expect you to give them back. I don't want you to keep them intact. If they turn black, I'll reimagine them and redefine all my boundaries. The syrupy taste of desire coats my insides and I taste it and feel it sticky all over me. I'm a scumbag and I don't know how to speak to the world. I have the soda, the aspartame blanket. I just need someone to hold me down, hold me steady, and apply pressure on the parts that hurt. How many different ways can I say this? You know what I want and what I need and how to deploy the strike that will start the war. You know when to offer what's anticipated and when to hold back. Give me pleasure until I'm sick, until I kill it. Can I be your little girl, pull my hair, damage my liver, mould me into a caricature of myself, mould me in your own image? I can turn you into God, and this terrifies both of us. I've got all the time in the world. I brush past strangers, try to touch as many living things as I can. I'm voluptuous with torment. Don't cry over me. Your tears are sweet and I like them. The opium-eating heart sucks in agony like a void and turns it into a work of art. I suffer, you suffer, we all suffer, etc. We're entangled in what soothes us, clever people we are, for finding salve in what Lord knows best. I'm your worst nightmare and your most vivid dream, out of context and in isolation, without dramatic backdrop, without the addiction, a living contusion. You make me come true. The safety catch has been off for years, just waiting for someone unhinged enough to fire the gun. Thank you.
मैं रामस्वरूप किसान राजस्थानी में कविता और कहानी लिखता हूँ। बगैर किसी औपचारिकता के मैं राजस्थानी में मेरी मातृभाषा में ही कविताएं करूँगा। घर शीर्षक से कविता है। घर सगड़ा 12 उठ गया घरा फकत, सगड़ा 12 उठ गया घरा फकत मैं हूँ का घरा है घर। सगड़ा 12 उठ गया घरा फकत मैं हूं का घरा है घर। अचानक ख्याल आयो घर हमेश घरा ही रहे। अचानक ख्याल आयो घर हमेश घरा ही रहे। वो कदे कठे नहीं जावे बस जावता आवता ने जोवतो रहे टुकुर टुकुर। अचानक ख्याल आयो घर हमेश घरा ही रहे। वो कदे कठे नहीं जावे बस जावता आवता ने जोवतो रहे टुकुर टुकुर। हाँ एड़ो अवश्य के जद कोई जावे थोड़ो सिकुड़ जावे। हाँ एड़ो अवश्य के जद कोई जावे थोड़ो सिकुड़ जावे और जद कोई आवे थोड़ो फैल जावे घर। हाँ एड़ो अवश्य के जद कोई जावे थोड़ो सिकुड़ जावे जद कोई आवे थोड़ो फैल जावे घर। जद मैं तालो जड़ कठे जावा तो 12 सु उदास हो जावे घर। जद मैं तालो जड़ कठे जावा तो 12 सु उदास हो जावे घर। भीतर सु केड़ो हो जावे मैं नहीं देखियो। भीतर सु केड़ो हो जावे मैं नहीं देखियो। पण जद मैं बावड़ा तो आंसुआ ने मुड़कान सु ढकणरी आंसुआ ने मुड़कान सु ढकणरी कोशिश में लुकर रोती मांसो पकड़ियो जावे घर। पण जद मैं बावड़ा तो आंसुआ ने मुड़कान सु ढकणरी कोशिश में लुकर रोती मांसो पकड़ियो जावे घर। मां शीर्षक कविता है। जे कोई थाने बूझे के मां किसी को वे आप दढ़ले सु कह सको के घर में जिन रो की नहीं हुए और जिन में घर रो सो की हुए बा मां हुए। जे कोई थाने बूझे के मां किसी को वे आप दढ़ले सु कह सको के घर में जिन रो की नहीं हुए और जिन में घर रो सो की हुए बा मां हुए। मारी कोई उम्र नहीं हुए। मारी कोई उम्र नहीं होए बा जवान भी हो सके और बूढ़ी भी, पर जवान माई बूढ़ी सी लागबो करे। मारी कोई उम्र नहीं होए बा जवान भी हो सके बूढ़ी भी, पर जवान मां भी बूढ़ी सी लागबो करे। मारे एक पग में जूती और दूजे में चप्पल हुए। मारे एक पग में जूती और दूजे में चप्पल हुए, क्योंकि मारे चेता ही नहीं हुए कि उनका ही पैर रखियो है। मां अमूमन आपरी एक आंख पर, मां अमूमन आपरी एक आंख पर मूरी बाप रो ओढ़निया रे पल्ले सु सेक करती रहे। मां अमूमन आपरी एक आंख पर मूरी बाप रो ओढ़निया रे पल्ले सु सेक करती रहे। असल मारे हाथा में चूड़ी नहीं होया करे। असल मारे हाथा में चूड़ी नहीं होया करे। हां पगा में बेड़ी अवश्य हुए। मां खुद रे मुंह सु कदे ही नहीं हंसे। मां खुद रे मुंह सु कदे ही नहीं हंसे, क्योंकि बू बेटा और नाती पोता रे मुंडे हंसती हंसती थक जावे। मां ने किनी साथे मजाक करन रो ओसाण ही नहीं मिले। मां ने किनी साथे मजाक करन रो ओसाण ही नहीं है। और असल में मां मजाक सार जाने ही कोनी। पण घर री दीठ में मां एक जोकर है। उनरे सिर पर बैठो घर आखे दिन हंसे। अली शेरी लाठी सांप्रदायिकता को अभिव्यक्त करती एक कविता है। अली शेरी लाठी। अली शेरी लाठी शू गा मरगी। अली शेरी लाठी शू गा मरगी। अली शेरी लाठी शू अली शेर मर गयो। अली शेरी लाठी शू गा मर गई। अली शेरी लाठी शू अली शेर मर गयो। अली शेरी लाठी शू गांवरा कई जिंदा लोग मर गया। अली शेरी लाठी शू गांवरा कई जिंदा लोग मर गया। अली शेरी लाठी शू गांवरी कई मर्योड़ी लाठियां जिंदा होगी। भगत सिंह हासे हो कविता। फांसी ही मौत ही हांसी ही अर हो भगत सिंह। फांसी ही मौत ही हांसी ही अर हो भगत सिंह। पंडर वो नहीं हो ना ना हो तो अवश्य वो भगत सिंह री पूठ और लोगारी आंख्या बिचाले हो। डर हाँ हो तो जरूर वो भगत सिंह री पूठ और लोगारी आंख्या बिचाले हो। लोग कांपे हा भगत सिंह हासे हो। ना ना बा हंसी कोनी सियात लोगां रे डर रो डर हो। ना ना बा हंसी कोनी सियात लोगां रे डर रो डर हो। जिको भीतर रे हजारों विस्फोट आंसू जलमर आंसुआ रे अनंत सागर ने छेकतो पालिए ताई पूग हंसी माए बदल गयो हो। जकी दुश्मी रे चेहरे सु जरे ही दुश्मन डरे हो। भगत सिंह हासे हो। ना ना बा हंसी कोनी सियात लोगां रे डर रो डर हो। जिको भगत सिंह रे हजारों विस्फोटा सु जलमर आंसुआ रे अनंत सागर ने छेकतो पालिए ताई पूग हंसी माए बदल गयो हो। जकी दुश्मी रे चेहरे सु जरे ही दुश्मन डरे हो। भगत सिंह हासे हो। मुर्गो मुर्गो काच खावे। मुर्गो काच खावे और मुर्गे ने खावे आदमी। मुर्गो काच खावे और मुर्गे ने खावे आदमी। तो ही आदमी अचम्मो करे अरे मुर्गो काच खावे। कुत्ता और आदमी। कुत्ता और आदमी। कुत्ता भूसे। कुत्ता भूसे आदमी दखल माने ललकारे। कुत्ता भूसे आदमी दखल माने ललकारे। आदमी भूसे कुत्ता सामी देखे। अपडेट कविता है। वो जिके डाले पर बैठे है उनने काटे। वो जिके डाले पर बैठे है उनने काटे। डालो पड़ गयो वो कोनी पड़ियो। वो जिके डाले पर बैठे है उन्हीं ने काटे। डालो पड़ गयो वो कोनी पड़ियो। वो जिन न्याव माए सवार है उन्हीं में छेक करे। न्याव डूबगी वो कोनी डूबियो। वो खुद रही पगा कुआड़ी बावे। वो खुद रही पगा कुआड़ी बावे। पग किणी और रा कटे। वो कंप्लीट अपडेट है, वो कंप्लीट अपडेट है। क्षण, दलित विमर्श को व्यक्त करती कविता है क्षण। जीभ ही अरहा दो हाथ दो पग, जीभ ही अरहा दो हाथ दो पग, पण ठानी किण सोदे छलीज गया में। जीभ ही दो हाथ हा दो पग, पण ठानी किण सोदे छलीज गया में। जिन माए जीभ रे बदले दो हाथ दो पग और ले बैठा, जिन माए जीभ रे बदले दो हाथ दो पग और ले बैठा। इब में चौहत्ता हाथ चौपाया हा, इब में चौहत्ता हाथ चौपाया हा। अर बे देर माने सुधरांग आपरा दो जीबा हा द्विज हा। स्कूल जाऊन रे डर सु दुनिया रो एक स्कूल जाए राजी कोनी, दुनिया रो एक ही टाबर स्कूल जाए राजी कोनी, स्कूल ने जेल माने टाबर। दुनिया रो एक ही टाबर स्कूल जाए राजी कोनी, स्कूल ने जेल माने टाबर। इन सारू हर भगत छुट्टी री जेवड़ी बटता रवे, इन सारू हर भगत छुट्टी री जेवड़ी बटता रवे। सिर पेट रे उड़ावे रो सिक्को जद खोटो उजे, लांबी बीमारी री चाव ना करे टाबर। सिर पेट रे उड़ावे रो सिक्को जद खोटो हुजे, लांबी बीमारी री चाव ना करे टाबर। अठे ताई के कदी ठीक नहीं होवन वाली बीमारी री गोद में सोवणो सोखो, और स्कूल जावणो दोखो माने टाबर। स्यात स्यात शिक्षा मानव वर्ती रे खिलाफ है, स्यात शिक्षा मानव वर्ती रे खिलाफ है। शिक्षा शू मानव रो कीन की कटे, शिक्षा शू मानव रो कीन की कटे, जकेरी पीड़ नहीं सह सके वो। शिक्षा मिनख सारू, शिक्षा मिनख सारू, बलद रे कस्सी करावण, गाय रा सींग ठपावण, का कुत्तारी पूंछ कटावण जेड़ी कोई क्रिया है। आग, आग कदे दिखे कोनी। आग कविता है, आग कदे दिखे कोनी, जकी दिखे बा आग कोनी आगरी छिया है। आग कदे दिखे कोनी, जकी दिखे बा आग कोनी आगरी छिया है। आगरी काया अदीठ और छिया गोचर हुए, आगरी काया अदीठ और छिया गोचर हुए। अमूमन काया री छिया हुए, पण आग छिया री काया है। अमूमन काया री छिया हुए, पण आग अमूमन काया री छिया हुए, पण आग छिया री काया है। कैडी माया है, जब छिया पिघले तो काया जले, और ओरा री काया ने जलावे, सृष्टि ने चलावे। एक कविता है, एक मशीन, स्त्री विमर्श की कविता है मशीन को सुनो। मशीन, थारे थारे सतत प्रयासा रो फल ओ है, थारे सतत प्रयासा रो फल ओ है, कि थे थारे मिशन में कामयाब हो गया। थारे सतत प्रयासा रो फल ओ है, कि थे थारे मिशन में कामयाब हो गया। आज मैं मुकम्मल तौर से मशीन में तब्दील होगी, घर चलावन वाली मशीन में। आज मैं मुकम्मल तौर से मशीन में तब्दील होगी, घर चलावन वाली मशीन में। जकीरो मन चायो बटन दबाए, मन माफक चीज हासिल कर सको आप। जकीरो मन चायो बटन दबाए, मन माफक चीज हासिल कर सको आप। संको क्यों, हंसी वालों बटन दबाए तो देखो। संको क्यों, हंसी वालों बटन दबाए तो देखो। रोवती रोवती नहीं हंस पड़ू, तो उखाड़ फेंक दीजिए आंगने से। रोवती रोवती नहीं हंस पड़ू, तो उखाड़ फेंक दीजिए आंगने से। आखिर मशीन ही तो हूं, दूजी बपरा लीजियो, पण अजमायर तो देखो। सेज वालों बटन दबाओ दिखान, हाँ दबाओ, संको क्यों। आखिर मशीन ही तो हूं, दूजी बपरा लीजियो, पण आजमायर तो देखो। सेज वालों बटन दबाओ दिखान, हाँ हाँ दबाओ, झिझको क्यों। काई होयो जे मैं अनसारी हूं, आखिर मशीन हूं, रिपेयर होती रहूं। મને ઠા હે આપને મારો ઉદાસ મું કતઈ આછો નહીં લાગે. મને ઠા હે આપને મારો ઉદાસ મું કતઈ આછો નહીં લાગે. એને સારું ચેડકા વાળો બટન દબાવતા હાથ ક્યું દુજાઓ. પણ પછી મારે શું તો કતરાવણો કાંઈ. મેં તો એક મશીન હું. થારી 100 પાઈ ખાતરી તો મારો નિર્માણ હોયો હે. मैं बापरी मोतरे गम में डूबी हूं तो काई होयो. श्रृंगार वालो बटन दबाए देखो तो सरी. जे रिजल्ट नहीं आवे तो मशीन जात ने फिटे लाण.
എൻ ചോരയിലുണ്ടൊരു സൂര്യൻ കുങ്കുമഗന്ധം വിതറി ചെങ്കനൽ ചുറ്റും ചിതറി കത്തും തരുണാരുണ ചഞ്ചല സൂര്യൻ. I can go on like this is the language in which I write Malayalam, but I am reading the English translations for you. I'll read 2 old poems and 2 comparatively new poems. I'm sorry, this is a poem that most of you have heard many times. Stammer. Stammer is no handicap. It is a mode of speech. Stammer is a silence that falls between the word and its meaning, just as lameness is a silence that falls between the word and the deed. Did stammer precede language or succeed it? Is it only a dialect or a language itself? These questions make the linguists stammer. Each time we stammer, we are offering a sacrifice to the god of meanings. When a whole people stammer, stammer becomes their mother tongue, just as it is with us now. God too must have stammered when he created man. That's why every word of man carries different meanings. That's why everything he utters, from his prayers to his commands, stammers like poetry. The magician is like a story. For those who do not know the traditions, Tumri, as you very well know, is a Hindustani form of music. There is a reference to a particular Tumri in the poem. The magician. I clearly remember the day the magician had come to our school. You know, in our young days, we used to have magic shows once in a while, like everywhere. I clearly remember the day the magician had come to our school. He showed some card tricks and asked for a girl. It was Khadija who came forward, the bold girl who had been laughing at his manliness, telling everyone the secret of his tricks. He laid her on the table on her back and removed her clothes one by one. Magic, thought everyone, and kept quiet. Then the magician took out a butcher's knife from his bag. I am going to cut this girl into 4 slices like halwa, he declared. Any objection? He asked the teachers and students. Magic, thought everyone, and did not object. We gazed with bated breath. He slowly brought down his knife. Khadija's blood ran about on the school floor, screaming. Magic, thought everyone, and did not wipe the blood. The magician cleaned his knife, got down from the stage, and walked away. Magic, everyone thought, and did not stop him. When he did not come back, Khadija, we called out together. She replied, but we could not see her. Her voice had come from the Arabian Nights, the book. We opened the book and saw Khadija gliding on the flying carpet, dropping flowers and peacock feathers over the bleeding Damascus, the dead Baghdad, the choking Tehran, the screaming Cairo, the seething Tunis. Flying with her was a Tumri, Babul Mora Neher Chuto Hijai. Khadija, I called again. She dropped a slate pencil from the flying carpet. With that pencil, I wrote my first poem. I still write. As I write each line, I leave my home and go to my beloveds. I read one of the two poems I wrote recently, a short one. I wrote two poems based on what recently happened in Turkey, as part of the democratic protest there. One was a dancer, Erdem Gunduz, a young dancer. He came and stood in a place where every kind of demonstration was forbidden. He just came there, he just stood there, he was not demonstrating, he was not sloganeering. But he, knowing that from the social media, thousands of people came and stood there, and that became a major protest. Another was, that also happened in Turkey, this happened in Gezi Park. The other thing happened in Taksim Square, where again demonstrations were forbidden. A man and a woman, a couple, came and stood there kissing for hours. And then a lot of couples came and they stood there kissing for hours, and that became another show of protest. I am trying to create two metaphors for poetry out of these two small incidents. The standing man, a man still silent, stands in the park where demonstrations are forbidden. He is going nowhere. Nowhere is he coming from. The world passes before him and time behind him. In between, with no flags or slogans, he stands still, silent. The world moves with the sun, and he multiplies, becomes 100, becomes 1,000, hands in pockets. They stand still, silent. This is a nation in war, a nation that stands up against injustice, a glimpse of the future seen in a lightning flash. A man stands in the park, still, silent. The sun goes round him. Poetry is a man standing alone in a forbidden place. And the second one, the kiss. You didn't believe when the poet said, the world changes when two people kiss. It was Octavio Paz who said that. You didn't believe when the poet said, the world changes when two people kiss. See them, a man, a woman, they kiss. Not a man and a woman, but many men, many women, in the same square where the enforcers of law and of morals used to frown together, if ever they walked hand in hand. A man, a woman, many men, many women in the square, once a prison to every kiss. They are breaking the law, the present's law of death. They are making the law, the future's law of life. Poetry is a private kiss, provocatively exchanged in a public place. I'll finish with this old poem, The Mad. Oh, I hope I'm not exceeding my time. The last one, yeah. The Mad. I've had a lot of mad people in my family, literally, and I'm not sure I am not one of them. The mad. The mad have no caste nor religion. They transcend gender, live outside ideologies. We do not deserve their innocence. Their language is not of dreams, but of another reality. Their love is moonlight. It overflows on the full moon day. Looking up, they see gods we have never heard of. They are shaking their wings when we fancy they are shrugging their shoulders. They hold, even flies have souls, and the green god of grasshoppers leaps up on thin legs. At times the sea trees bleed. Here lions roar from the streets. They watch heaven gleaming in a kitten's eyes, just as we do. But they alone can hear ants sing in a chorus. While packing the air, they are taming a cyclone over the Mediterranean. With their heavy tread, they stop a volcano from erupting. They have another measure of time. Our century is their second. 21 seconds and they reach Christ. 6 more, they are with the Buddha. In a single day, they reach the Big Bang at the beginning. They go on walking restless, for their earth is boiling still. The mad are not mad like us.
Just 3 minutes, okay? Okay. Yeah. I read. I'm the last poet because my name begins with Y. Yoko is my. Okay? Newborns have soft lips, skillful tongues, and elastic cheeks. They can produce any sound that exists on earth. To learn one's mother tongue means to stifle the sounds one doesn't use. Many forgotten sounds never come back. The sound of the foreign language records dreams in which the forgotten figures come back to us. The learning of a foreign language is a work of recollection. In 1979, I made my first trip to Europe with the Trans-Siberian Railway. It took 11 days from Tokyo to Moscow. Was the I that arrived the same one as before? The human body is 80% water. Since I drank Russian water every day in Russia, my body became 80% Russian. In the Japanese language, there are many words that mean I, but none of them is a personal pronoun. Are you sure that the mere line I can stand for the subject? In Germany, no one wants ice cubes in his drink. No one knows why. This is a poem about American ships that they came to Japan in the middle of 18th century, and Japan was closed for over 200 years, and then now Japan must open the country, and people are afraid of it, but they have also, they dream of the future. Muna苦しい村の苦しい村の中に苦しい村の中に群れる苦しい村の中に群れる村が苦しい村の中に群れる村が群れて黒船が来る黒船がくるくるって黒船がくるくるって回って黒船がくるくるって回って戻って黒船がくるくるって回って戻ってくるって黒船がくるくるって回って戻ってくるって天王星戻って波打仏お打仏広々のんびりビリでもいい広い Thank you. And the next poem is about Fukushima. After the disaster in Fukushima, it's a Japanese poem too, but with the quote from that Hamlet by Shakespeare. And Hamlet's question is to be or not to be. But the question in Fukushima is to eat or not to eat the vegetables from Fukushima. Okay? Hamlet, no see. 飛べ、飛べ、don't be、飛び、飛べ、飛び、飛ぶべきか、飛ばないべきか、to be、それとも not to be、それは問題か、食えと言われても食えない、それが問題、question。福島のマッシュルームと書いてある。食えたら食ってあげたい。召し上がってくれよ。食べるないんだ。食え、クエスチョン。食べられるのか。福島のトマト。福島のキャベツ。福島の大根ですと書いてある八重のマジックペンで、食えずクエスチョン。That is a question whether 安全か、危険か、危険だけど健康。いえ、安全だけど病気にはなる。調べたから安全です。数字で書く安全。目の中の血管の赤信号をピカッ意識の中に in the mind 含まれた苦悩サファー、シェイクスピアが途切れ途切れに聞こえてくる。海の向こうから、汚れた海の向こうから、なぜ海を敵に燃やすのか。C を海に垂れ流す。死ぬのは C、なないのは C。against the sea of troubles。福島の to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end。海の言語がわからない。もう息ができないと言っているのか。それともまだ還元できると言っているのか。海と話をすることができたなら、and the thousand 千代に八千代にこれから苦しむナチュラルショックス、自然には還元できないショック、耳を澄まして聞き取れる言語だけでも、波の間から集めて、書き留めて、to die, to sleep、眠らないで、食え、question of Shakespeare. Thank you.
So big thank you to everyone. K. Satchidanandan ji is one of the India's most widely translated contemporary poets. Ramswaroop ji, one of the very own poets from Rajasthan. Yoko Tawada from Tokyo, who writes both in Japanese and German, and the winner of numerous awards. Melissa Lee, reviewer for the Short Review. Mark Waldron from New York, who has been named as one of the 2014 Generation Poets by PBS. Luke Kennard, a senior lecturer at University of Birmingham. K. Miller, a poet, essayist and novelist from Jamaica. And lastly, British Council for supporting this. Big thank you to all of you. Good night. Have a nice day. We request you all to keep the venue clean, so if you could just pick up all the litter and drop it at the dustbins. Thank you so much.
We would also like to thank our sponsors.